Hey, how's it going? It's PK. Got another battle. And this time, it's against a player named Revshot. And if you don't know what a Revshot is, it's a type of alcoholic drink. And no, before you say anything, I do not know that because I'm a college student, so don't make that joke. I mean, you can if you want to, but I won't respond to it. So anyway, here's the battle. So, Revshot leads with his Zapdos, and I lead with my T-Tar. This is a losing battle for him, obviously. He should switch here, otherwise he's probably going to die to Rock Slide. But he goes to his Snorlax on the switch, and that's a pretty bad switch in my opinion, but he's not getting leftover recovery, so I assume it's choice banded. However, it shows me it's Curse-Lax without leftovers, so it's presumably a Chesto Lax. At +2, this is getting dangerous, so I decided to explode and just get rid of Lax right away. Explosion doesn't take him out right away, surprisingly, so it's a very defensive Lax. But the Thunderbolt next turn gets rid of him, so it's a 5-5 game. Zapdos gets confronted by his Zapdos, so I'm going to get out of there and go to my Blissey, which is the conservative play to make. I could go for Ice Beam here, I could go to Seismic Toss. I decided to go for Ice Beam. Ice Beam hits the Metagross, doesn't do anything, but he doesn't have leftover recovery apparently, so it might be, or probably is, choice banded. But it's not, it's an Agilagross without leftovers recovery, so that's fun. Goes for Meteor Mash. I go for Surf. I'm going to win this battle unless he explodes or switch it, so you better switch out or explode. But I have nothing that can take the explosion really well, so I'm just going to assume it's not going to explode here. Everything is valuable on my team, so I'm just going to go for Roar. And I do go for Roar. He tries to bring in his Zapdos on a switch, but I roar that out, and he shows me a Dugtrio. So that's a bit of information to have. A nice bit of information, in fact. But I decided to try to take it out with Surf. Brings his Zapdos in again, but he has to take a Surf in the process. Zapdos is getting leftovers recovery, so at least I see a normal set for once. But I bring in my Blissey again on it, so that's my answer to it. Doesn't look like he can break it so far. And I'm going to go either for Seismic Toss or Ice Beam. I gotta watch out for the Dougie though, so I'm gonna go. I might go for Ice Beam in anticipation for that. But I'm gonna go for Seismic Toss instead, because he's probably not gonna want to come in knowing I have Ice Beam. So I go for Seismic Toss, and does a ton against the Coon that comes in. So presumably it's an offensive Coon. So yeah, Calm Mind Up lets me know that's probably the case. I go for Seismic Toss again. He's not gonna win this battle if he stays in. He does stay in. He goes +3 with Calm Mind, but it's 7%. He's going to die next turn. But, wow, he has Rest, so that's interesting. And he has a Chesto Berry, which wakes him up. So at +3, this is getting kind of dangerous. So I bring him in my Coon and roar him out, but take a lot of damage in the process. But, yeah, offensive Coon with Rest. Isn't that fun? I've never seen that before in my life. Once again, I bring the Blissey in on the Zapdos. This has been my answer so far this game. I guess I gotta decide whether to go for Seismic Toss or Ice Beam again. I go for Seismic Toss, and at 30%, the Metagross is getting low. I go for Meteor Mash. He goes for Meteor Mash again, and I get a Rest off. So he might not have Explosion. Has Earthquake, so I'm gonna get out of here, and I take a Meteor Mash in the process, but my Zapdos will kill the Metagross if he stays in here. So he better switch or he's going to die. And he does switch, goes to Dugtrio. It's probably going to use Rock Slide, so I'm going to take this opportunity to bring in my Dugtrio to take out the Dugtrio once it uses Rock Slide. But it doesn't. It uses Substitute. And I'm locked in. And I lose the speed tie, and so yeah, that's probably the worst set I've ever seen on a Dugtrio ever. It's usually choice banded, but in this case it works. Oh my gosh. So yeah, knowing it's not choice banded though, I bring in my Blissey, and I'm gonna break the sub here with Ice Beam. I could go for Ice Beam again, but Earthquake might kill me. So I'm going to go for Soft Boiled here, and I don't want to get killed by a sub Dougie. That would be rather embarrassing. But wow, oh my gosh. Takes the opportunity to bring in his Metagross on the anticipated Soft Boiled, and I go to Zapdos to anticipate the Meteor Mash. The Meteor Mash misses, so I get in there for free. I go for Toxic, assuming he'd switch again, but he doesn't, and so I take damage from the Meteor Mash, and I take it out with Thunderbolt next turn. Brings in his Zapdos against my Zapdos again, so I guess that's the best way he can deal with my Zapdos. I bring in Blissey for like a 5th time, so he doesn't look like he has any way to get rid of this Blissey now, except maybe for the Coon. Go for Ice Beam there, that was a mistake. I should have gone for Seismic Toss, but it's not a huge mistake, doesn't matter. And knowing the Coon can't really hurt my Blissey, I go for Aromatherapy to wake up my Coon. He starts Calm Minding up. I use Seismic Toss. Seismic Toss breaks the sub, and yep, the next Seismic Toss plus Sandstorm takes out the Coon. Shows me immense I haven't seen before, and I'm afraid it's choice banded, so I anticipate Brick Break and go to my Zapdos. But it's Dragon Dance, and it's a Dragon Dance set without Leftovers recovery. Again, we have a case where we have an unconventional set without a normal set without Leftovers. So yeah, I bring in my Coon again, and I roar him out, or excuse me, he switched out for some reason, and I take out the Doug Trio, which switches in with Surf. Get Blissey on Salamence. I'm not fooled this time, I'm not switching out, and I go for Ice Beam. There's an advertisement, comes at an annoying time. And yeah, at 4% and no Leftovers recovery, the Salamence is going to die next turn. So the Dragon Dance was really not worth it. But he does have Brick Break, surprisingly. I don't know why he didn't use it last time. So anyway, I lose the Speed War with the Zapdos there, so my Zapdos dies, but at full health my T-Tar is not going to die to the Zapdos, and I should be able to take it out, and that's exactly what happens. I take out the Zapdos with Rock Slide, and I win this game 3-0. All in all, this was a very unusual set. Yeah, excuse me, an unusual game. Just by the fact that my opponent used some very unconventional sets. Snorlax, Curselax specifically, without Leftovers recovery. It's a Chesto set, never see that really. Offensive Coon with Substitute and Rest, you never see that. Dragon Dance Mence without Leftovers recovery, hardly ever see that. And Metagross and Agilagross specifically without Leftovers recovery. So yeah, I mean, very unusual. Oh, the best part is a Doug Trio with Substitute. That is probably the most out of place poke I've ever seen since I've been on Pokemon Online. Almost every, I would say, actually I'm comfortable saying every Doug Trio is choice banded. This is the first time I've ever seen Doug Trio without a choice band on it. But this is why I brought this battle to you, because it was very entertaining from my perspective, and I hope you thought so too. And if you thought it was entertaining, use that like bar. I mean, come on. It only takes like a second of your time. Just hit that like bar. Come on, just do it. No pressure, just do it. I'll stop that, and I'll just ask you to, if you're viewing this channel for the first time, to subscribe, or let me know what you think in the comments. But until next time, this is PK, signing out.